A new year is here, and with it, a new season on the Bassmaster Elite Series. 9 events all across the country to determine the best of the best in the bass fishing world. With the new season now only weeks away, we're going to get you ready by taking a look ahead at the events and storylines that will define this coming year. We don't know who will win yet, but we do know this. Big bass will come to the stage and big dreams will come true in 2022. This is the 2022 Bassmaster Elite Series Preview Show. Hello and welcome to the Bassmaster Studios, sponsored by Marathon. I'm Tommy Sanders here with Ronnie Moore, getting you ready for the 2022 Bassmaster Elite Series season. We've been taking a look back at 2021, Ronnie. A great season, provided a lot of thrills, but now it's time to step forward. Hey, we're right around the corner from the start, so let's take a look at our schedule. Something for everybody, little of the old, little of the new.
As soon as the season ends in 2021, Tommy, the last cast is made, the last fish is weighed. Everyone's now looking forward to the schedule announcement and where they'll be watching or competing in 2022. And we're going to have a great schedule. They're going to start out in Florida, 2 back-to-back events. They'll eventually make their way throughout the year and end it up all the way in Wisconsin and South Dakota for back-to-back events. It's going to be a great season, Tommy, but those 2 first events, the Harris Chain and the St. Johns River kicking off in Florida, those are going to be some tests, but it's going to be good.
All right, we're ready for you to walk us through this kickoff down in the state of Florida. Where else would you start in February?
Starting the season down in Florida is fitting at the St. Johns River, basically our Daytona 500 every year. Then we go over to the Harris Chain of lakes, about an hour and a half to 2 hours away from the St. Johns River. Those are 2 big bass places. Then we'll go up north, stop number 3, Santee Cooper, the low country of South Carolina, mid-March, giant bass are there as well, and Lake Chickamauga, April 7th through the 10th, stop number 4. That should be one for the record books as well. Lake Fork, every year we go there, we break the century mark, 100 pounds for 4 days of fishing. Will we do it again in 2022? Then Pickwick, Tommy, we got to see it in the spring in 2021, but this time in the summer, offshore ledge fishing. Then we'll make our trek up north for the last 3 events of the season, the Northern Swing up at the St. Lawrence River, Lake Ontario. Then we'll go, after a month break, all the way over to Lake Oahe in South Dakota, August 18th through the 21st. That's going to be a fun venue to revisit. Then we're going to end the season with one of the most visibly pleasing events, the Mississippi River, La Crosse, Wisconsin, August 26th through the 29th.
So much to look forward to there, Ronnie, and we're going to break down all those events together as the season approaches here in just a couple of weeks. Right now, though, let's focus in on our first event of 2022, the St. Johns River, a place we know very well, a place that presents itself differently just about every time we go there. But every time we go there, it seems like something legendary happens.
The state of Florida holds a special place in the heart of the sport of bass fishing. The Sunshine State is a staple in this sport, and the St. Johns River is one of those legendary fisheries, and it's a reason why. Every single time we go there, Tommy, you mentioned it, these anglers experience different weather than they've ever done. They experience different regions, and it's won in a lot of different places. You can go to Rodman Reservoir. You can go all the way down to Lake George. You can go north of Palatka towards Jacksonville. It's been won almost every single place. Don't forget about Crescent Lake as well. And when we think about the St. Johns River, we think about a historic bass fishery. We think about a body of water where a lot of old techniques factor. And we also think about a place where legends are born, and Rick Clunn, winning 16 Bassmaster events in his career, 32 classic appearances, 4 classic titles. He is a legend, one of the best of all time. And for him to win back-to-back times when he visited here, 2016 and then in 2019, backing it back up, a huge final day, epic moments of 9+ pound fish. Tommy, you really can't ask for anything else. This place is a special body of water, and I look forward to kicking off the season here with the Elite Series because we never know what we're going to see when we turn the cameras on.
19 pounds, 5 ounces! Rick Clunn is your champion for the 16th time. Rick Clunn gets it done!
Oh, we need right there. Well, Ronnie, we know that every time we go to the St. Johns River, we see some amazing performances. We expect no less in 2022. It plays host to our season-opening event, now just right around the corner. After the break, we keep going with our preview of the 2022 Bassmaster Elite Series schedule, starting with our Florida swing. Stick with us.
Yes, sir. How about that for a start? got you.
Well, welcome back to the 2022 Bassmaster Elite Series preview show. I'm Tommy Sanders alongside Ronnie Moore, getting you ready for the new season of Bassmaster competition, now just a couple of weeks away from getting started, and it starts down in the warm confines of Florida. Florida's longest river, the St. John's. And Ronnie, it is truly a one-of-a-kind place, a vast playing field where the productive spots can certainly swap around from year to year, and a lot of ways to attack it from an angler's point of view.
You mentioned how diverse it is, Tommy, and so to preview the 2022 event, we got to take it back to the 2021 Humminbird Unlock the Lake for the St. Johns River, and we've got to look at this guy, Cliff Prince. 6 Elite Series events here in the past, 5 different top 20s. He is definitely one that we're going to keep our eye on for the 2022 Elite Series event here. Maybe one to watch to finally win.
Hell yeah! That's what I'm talking about. Oh, give me some knuckles on that one, hammer. That's what we need right there, 5, just like that. And I'll stand out here and let it rain all day. That's what I'm talking about. Come on with that.
Oh, I can't believe he hasn't won one yet, Ronnie. I mean, he is really the only true hometown favorite here, a Palatka native.
We discussed it on Bassmaster Live. Could he be the best local Elite Series talent for a specific fishery? That much pressure, that much consistency. 5 top 20s out of his 6 elite events, and his 6th elite event wasn't that bad. Barely missed the top 50 cut that year, but the St. Johns River is a river, and that is where Cliff Prince lives every time we're here. But one place we see hardly factor, Rodman Reservoir. It is a man-made reservoir, and our day 3 leader, Patrick Walters, had 26.7, the biggest bag of the tournament there, and he did it with his electronics. Fishing a little bit offshore, seeing fish on his graph over standing timber, another type of cover at the St. Johns River with that wood.
Yeah, basically doing in his big wipeout victory on Lake Fork last year, doing pretty much the same thing. Like you say, relying heavily on those electronics. Patrick Walters with a big lead going into the final day.
That'll cool. That'll cool. We're getting close.
We knew there'd be a lone survivor or 2 from Rodman Reservoir. It was just churning out good ones, and the temperature was getting right. Walters was the lone survivor there. Having to lock is a difficult task on a fishery like this, but a staple that we expect to factor here, Lake George. It's been kind of through ups and downs. Drayton Island's been good, lack of eelgrass. So what do the bass have? They have cypress trees, and Greg Hackney found a stretch of trees all to himself during the spawn. It was kind of a place that reloaded, and Tommy, he really had it all to himself.
Absolutely, and literally miles and miles of cypress trees as well. Greg Hackney, though, an acknowledged master at this kind of fishing in this type of environment right here. We're looking at footage from day number 3 where he really hit them hard.
There's his girlfriend. There she is. Boy, she's a pretty thing. It's a fine specimen of a Florida bass right there.
You know it's a special fishery when through ups and downs of weather, hurricanes, droughts, different things that Florida deals with, that a fishery can change as much as it has, and so many structures can factor. And one of the structures at the bottom of the south end of Lake George, Brian New found lily pad fields, and that was really the only vegetation type structure, but it paid off for him.
I don't like this. I'm gonna go back out. Maybe I do like it. Whoa! Yeah! Yeah! It takes a lot to get me excited, boys and girls.
Reason for excitement on that day. He had a game plan for the first 3 days. He did not waver from. He was going to catch a limit on shell beds very close to the takeoff in Palatka. But on this day, the final day, he scrapped that entire thing. He said, if I'm going to win, I got to do all my work done.
Starting in 6th place on the final day, big bags are happening every single day at the St. John's. He's got to have 20 pounds, so he sells out where he was getting all of his major fish and the culls. He went down to the south end of Lake George and ended up having one of the biggest bags of the tournament, 26.4, coming back to win it. But one aspect, Tommy, the longest run of the week, going past Lake George, through Lake Dexter and Woodruff, over to Spring Garden Lake.
Yeah, he was the story of the first 2 days of competition. The veteran Gary Klaus coming down here, making a big, big risk, giving up a lot of time, a long run time down there and back, but it paid off on day number 1.
That's a giant. Oh, that's the big one, dude, we want. That may have been that one we saw a while ago. Oh, I think that's the one we saw a while ago that, oh, that's a big one. I really think that's the one that we saw swimming across there a while ago, because I kind of spooked it out and I just messed around here a while. Oh my God, look at that. Look at that.
25 pounds in an hour's fishing time, Ronnie. That was amazing. Took the lead, big lead, in fact, on day number 1.
You said there was a risk in the St. Johns River. So many. Do you lock? Do you make a long run? Do you fish for in a crowd of people? Gary Klaus found a place all to himself. And no, it didn't pay off with a win, but it paid off with his best elite finish, a top 10. You can't win unless you make it to Championship Sunday, and he did that. And that's so many avenues on the St. Johns River to fish and to do it. We just saw 5 of them on Hummingbird and Martha Lake.
Yeah, Ronnie, so many different areas an angler can focus on at the St. Johns River and have a definite possibility of coming up with a big bass and a big day. That's the kind of thing we look forward to seeing in a couple of weeks when our 2022 season gets started down here in Florida. After the break, we'll break down some of our most recent winners at the St. Johns River. We'll be right back.
Oh, that's a big one.
Welcome back to the 2022 Bassmaster Elite Series preview show. We are getting you ready for the new season by taking a look forward to the lakes, rivers, and possible storylines coming up when the season kicks off in just a few weeks. Right now, we're previewing our first event of 2022 at the St. Johns River in Florida. And Ronnie, this is a place that can be very, very challenging, but also a place where we find some great fishing and great champions at the top of the leaderboard at the end of the day.
Hey, make no bones about it, Tommy. Winning anywhere across this country on the Bassmaster Elite Series is something that you're going to cherish the rest of your life. But winning at a legendary body of water like the St. Johns River, it almost means more. And for Rick Clunn, he accomplished everything in the sport. 4 Bassmaster Classic victories, over a dozen wins in the Bassmaster Tournament Trail, and to win back-to-back Elite Series events, giving him win number 15 and win number 16 for his career. Huge for the legendary Rick Clunn. 2016, he had a lead and was able to sustain and win that event. In 2019, a major deficit, but a dramatic final day. 2 fish, almost 10 pounds apiece, one of them right here, anchoring his giant final day bag, allowing him to come from behind and upset Chris Johnston there and win the event. A huge accomplishment for a legendary angler like Rick Clunn, back-to-back St. Johns River wins. Now, we've been here plenty of times, Tommy, and it's changed every single time. We've seen the fishery have a lot of grass and then a lot less grass. We've seen cold fronts, fog delays, everything in between. And in 2020, the anglers rolled up to the St. Johns River and experienced something totally different. Paul Mueller had to go to the far reaches north. We had anglers go far south, far west as well, but Paul Mueller, going farther north than anyone else, was able to take the title at the 2020 Bassmaster Elite Series event on this body of water. Then we segue over to 2021. We have it 3 years in a row, and we get 3 different winning areas. Brian New, the comeback kid at the 2021 Bassmaster Elite at the St. Johns River. You see that final day push, 12 pounds, up to 20, up to 21, and then finishing it off with 26 pounds, completing his comeback. Brian New was able to put his name in the record books, not only winning an Elite Series event, Tommy, but doing it at a historic body of water. This is an old school bass fishery. We've seen so many different areas factor, and it's very interesting to see it. Every single year we go the same month, the same time of year, we expect the same weather, but the fish will give us a taste of something a little different. And this time, we got to see a Bassmaster Elite Series rookie, his first few days of an Elite Series career. He was able to take the top spot, already reaching the pinnacle of the sport, hitting a milestone, winning an event. Brian New will not forget this major victory.
Always a big-time winner's story when we go to the St. Johns River, Ronnie. We love getting our season started there, And that's exactly what we'll be doing here in just a couple of weeks. The St. Johns River, though, is just the beginning of our 2022 season and the opener for our Florida swing. When we come back, we'll take a look at event number 2 of this new season at the Harris Chain of Lakes in Central Florida. We'll be right back.
Yeah!
Welcome back to the 2022 Bassmaster Elite Series preview show. We're taking a look at the first 2 events of the 2022 Elite Series season right now, and both will take place in the great state of Florida. After the St. Johns River, it's time for event number 2 at another famous fishery, the Harris Chain of Lakes, just up the road. Ronnie, it has been a while since we've been to the Harris Chain, so catch us up on this unique and wide-ranging fishery.
Tommy, it's been over a decade since the Bassmaster Elite Series has visited the Harris Chain of Lakes right there in Leesburg, Florida. But Bassmaster is not foreign to the Harris Chain. We've had plenty of St. Croix Bassmaster Opens and Strike King Bassmaster College Series events over the last few years, and those are 2- and 3-day events. And these anglers have really shown what the Harris Chain's potential is, and it is one of the most vast bodies of water and different fisheries than we will see all year for the 2022 Bassmaster Elite Series. So as we preview this lake, this is 8 lakes with multiple canals and rivers that connect all of them to actually form the Harris Chain of Lakes. Leesburg, Florida is our host, and right there, Lake Harris and Little Lake Harris are the closest lakes to the takeoff. That is where we launch from. You can simply get to the other lakes via canals. You go through the Dead River and you get into Lake Eustis. If you want to go west from there, you'll be able to go through Haynes Creek and a lock system and get into Griffin. Lake Griffin is basically a deeper, more offshore. You're going to see a lot of people out in the middle of the lake, out in the middle. What are you fishing? Well, you're fishing underwater grass, you're fishing eelgrass, you're fishing hydrilla, a lot of different factors there. But if you get up closer to the bank, you'll have reeds, you'll have lily pads, other shoreline grasses. So the Harris Chain is very diverse. But Tommy, you can get to all 8 lakes roughly within 15 minutes by land. But by water, that is going to be the strategy. You're going to have to delegate some time. Maybe if you go from Eustis into Dora, over into Beauclair and maybe Carlton, maybe even making the long run to Apopka, that eats up a lot of your time. So you have to be wise on how you spend your time. But this is a very dynamic body of water, a place that's going to have huge fish, and we're going to see some big weights. And we've had some history here on the Bassmaster Elite Series, definitely in the past, haven't we, Tommy?
Yeah, Ronnie, all the different lakes and all the different settings, looks, depths, and conditions for these anglers to target on the Harris Chain. It's been a while, though, since the elites have visited this famed fishery with so much Bassmaster history. The last time we were there, though, something happened that we're still talking about.
We haven't been here in a while, so it's hard to find an exact comparison which year it'll play out. The last time we were here in 2011, Shaw Grigsby put on a big show, sight fishing and spawn fishing. We've been here other times with other tours, so we've gotten a good taste of what could be. And this duo from Bryan College, Cole Sands, Connor DeMarle, they were kind of in the same position for the College National Championship just a few years ago. Had a big lead going into the final day, but they needed to hold on. They needed to make sure nothing changed negatively for this duo. They went on to win by 26 pounds or so. Just imagine, Tommy, catching 20 pounds a day, averaging 20 pounds a day, and you finish second place, and you're over 26 pounds out of the win. That's how impressive what Bryan College's duo of Cole Sands and Connor DeMarle, so impressive what they did. Dominating performance, the biggest weight in a college championship 3-day event, by far over 12 pounds bigger than the previous mark set. But that is the dynamic aspect of Florida. These guys were fishing offshore in a smaller lake, Lake Beauclair, but there's a lot of potential in Eustis, Griffin, Harris, Little Harris, even Apopka. A lot of lakes that can factor giant bags of fish. So your lead is never safe, even if you're the leader going into the final day. No deficit is too far to make up as well. We're going to see a lot of dynamic things, and the problem is we don't know what's going to happen. Will second place come from behind? Will sixth place? Will first place run away with the lead? The Harris Chain always gives us some thrills, and in Florida, you can never count out the aspect of weather. Weather in February in any state in the country is hard to predict, but in Florida, where it's been 70, where it's been 80 degrees, the fish are in transition, ready to spawn and move up, and now all of a sudden a weather change can come in. It can totally change your pattern, and we saw this duo from Bryan College. They took home the title wire to wire in dominant fashion, but we know on the Elite Series, anything is possible. I believe a past Elite Series event, Tommy, a guy had 0 pounds on day 1 and ended up coming back 4 days later, ended up finishing 2nd place. So anything can happen on the Harris chain.
They're being weird, man.
3 more like these, though. And then a 10.
Good fish.
Got one.
Big one. You can come. It's a good one. That'll start it off.
What's 3-pounder? Yeah, it's a weird one for this hole.
I'll take them.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Lord.
4 pounds and 12 ounces. There's a 3-day total to take home this championship. There you go. Biggest bag of the week. Bass Pro Nitro big bag. 29 pounds even. 84.12 through 3 days. Look at that 29-pound bag right there, Leesburg.
Well, Ronnie, it's been a while since we've had the Elite Series at the Harris chain, but we're going to remedy that here in just a couple of weeks. The new season of the Bassmaster Elite Series is just around the corner, and we certainly do look forward to getting it started in the state of Florida. Thank you for joining us today on the 2022 Bassmaster Elite Series preview show. A look ahead to more of what's in store in the new season. That's coming up next time. We will see you then.
There it is.
That's what we're looking for right there.
It's a jumper. We got him. Yes, sir.